Hi guys, welcome to Shade 3 Roadside Repairs channel. BMW 330 X-Drive E92 transfer case bushing. So basically the transmission holder is unmounted. Jack stand, by the way, put it, keep it somehow, the transmission, somewhere here. Don't unmount the holder, without keeping the transfer case. In my case, bushing is, totally dead, as you can see. It's very soft, and here you see the damages basically. So as for the tool, I'm going to use special tool from this brand. I'm not sure what is that. I mean, I never worked with that brand, but it's pretty common on eBay, you can buy it. The bushing I'm going to use them further, and the form, the geometry is pretty interesting, so you can do it without the special tool, and there are videos, but I'm going to try this tool. I already, played with that a bit, and what I did for E92 X-Drive, I switched those kind of shafts or rods, shafts, I just swapped them just because this was, here from that side, but it doesn't work like this for my transfer case, so I switched them. So you can unscrew them here. It works, so I switched. I think that if you have BMW X3 or BMW 5 X-Drive, probably it should be the opposite, but for my transfer case it is like this. Also, I don't like the original, nuts and the stud. The good thing is that there is a bearing which is universal, but it's too long, and it's kind of, the nut is too big and it's not enough space there. So that's why I use my own, stud for that, and I'm going to use this bearing. In order to unpress, you're going to use this tool. It fits perfectly here. So basically the diameter is exactly matching. It's a bit less, of course, just to go inside. And this is kind of the thing which you need to install, like this to the transfer case, and then position this thing, and you're going to use it to kind of, unpress the bushing. And interesting thing is that you will need to basically cut, this part. There is a metal plate here, so I'm going to cut the rubber, kind of like this. Cut the rubber, cut it like this, remove the rubber, and bend this metal part. And I will also kind of a bit cut it here and there, just to simplify the bending process. You will see how it's going to look like. Should be pretty easy, it's just rubber. So I will cut it, and let's see. This is how it should look like after that. So basically I cut the rubber here, and for that I used, this very useful, super fast. I even sprayed silicone oil, here. And then, just take something like this and hammer it, and bend it. And be careful, don't touch it here. And now finally I can use my tool, here to unpress it back. So this is how it looks like finally. The tool is installed here. I have a nut from different kit, this guy is installed here. So you see, I already pressed it just a bit, this thing here. And this guy, probably you see part of the surface there. So this kind of rod, it faces the, that surface. So basically very tricky, but it works. And as you can see, the bushing is there. And also I replaced them, I put this one to that side and this one to that side in order to have, you know, proper alignment here. I finally removed the bushing, but I faced a couple of challenges. So see this thing, so this thing doesn't allow the bushing to go there, so I dropped the transfer case even lower, as you can see. And also I put the marks here, so be careful with that, you know. That was funny. I spent some time to fix that. Put marks here, you know, just in case. And this is how it looks like right after removal. Need to clean the surface here and install a new bushing. Also, it turned out that it's very easy to scratch this, you know, aluminum housing. I just scratch it with my tool, you know, just, you know, remove the tool bit and get scratched, and as well as here, you know, so be super careful with that. The old bushing. Let's see. So basically it's installed like this, so it's pretty hard to position it improperly. So this is where I cut it. Okay. And the part of the bushing that I cut a little further, you know. So this is how they look like. Okay. So basically they're the same. Installation of the bushing is easier. You need to use, you know, kind of this thing from one side, and this thing allows you to press it, and note that this guy is smaller than the other, and basically just press it. And also I have a special oil from BMW. You can use it when you install transfer case bushing, differential bushing. So basically put it on the surface of the bushing and on the surface of the transfer case, and don't forget to clean the surface of the transfer case before installation. I use for that sandpapers 1200 and even higher sometimes. This is how it goes in my case. So the distance here is super small. This guy is sitting here and it goes super easy. Okay, so it is the end. I'm going to remove the tool. This is how it looks like after installation. So it is installed, pressed to the surface, you know. From here it looks like this, and from this side it's pressed also, even, you know. Regarding its position, the manual says that observe the position when you install it. So basically I installed it the same way like it was installed here, and basically it should be kind of vertical, you know. So it should be like this, kind of, you know, this thing should be somewhere where this thing starts, you know, kind of vertical like this, and these dots, you know, they should point to kind of, you know, this place. Basically observed how the bushing was installed before and installed it the same way, you know. Also you can check, you know, those holes, you know, it goes exactly in between the screw and, you know, this part of the case, you know. As well as here, it's also good mark that it should go, you know, this kind of bump here, right, and it should go on the lower edge of that bump. I put those marks, but I tried to use them, but seems like this bushing is slightly different because it's further versus original, you know. And when I tried to position it like that, it looked to me a bit different from how the original bushing was installed. But anyway, this is good place. Also here, you know, those places, they pretty much at the same position, to be honest, but it looks good to me, you know. I think there is some tolerance actually. I mean, if you rotate it just a bit, like 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters, it's not going to be a big deal, likely. So before installation of the transmission support, I installed the exhaust holder here. So it looks like this, you know, the extension bars and you joint, and the same from top. But in order to access the top one, you know, you need to have wires disconnected, because otherwise it's not enough space here. So it's not needed to be unmounted, but anyway, I find it useful if you do the transmission work, which I did previously. But anyway, now it is installed here, and I can install the wires and then install the transmission support. It is installed. It's tricky, but don't give up. Okay, so the transmission support has been installed. Those bolts are 19 Newton meters, this one 68 Newton meters. Those 3 bolts are long and those 3 bolts are short. With this bolt, by the way, be careful, and if it is completely to the left, you know, the surface here is not exactly flat, and there is a chance to unintentionally, you know, break the thread, likely in the car body, you know. So I recommend you to, for instance, unscrew, I mean, when you screw it, screw first this one and that one, and don't screw this one, and make sure that the hole is exactly centered here, you know, I mean, hole of the car body to the transmission support, so that this bolt won't be exactly to the left, it will be just a bit to the right, and the surface is better there. So be careful with that. I mean, you can damage the thread probably unintentionally. And also I recommend you to screw those bolts when you keep the transfer case somehow, so that you can screw them freely, you know, without any you know, friction with the bushing. This is how it looks like. Don't forget about this rubber, by the way. Okay. Yeah, you can keep this nut using just a simple wrench. I also use ceramic grease here. Okay, so the bushing has been successfully replaced, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and have a good day, guys. Bye bye.